Welcome to Retro Cine Reels, cinephiles and curious minds. Let's rewind the reels and take a trip to the golden era of European cinema, a time when international stars collided on screen and crime was as charming as it was chaotic. Today, we're diving deep into a dazzling and delightfully chaotic heist comedy that blends French wit with international flair, The Brain, or, as it was originally titled in French, the Cerveau French-Italian comedy heist film, that delivers a perfect blend of slapstick humor, slick planning, and cinematic spectacle. Movie released in 1969 and directed by Gérard Oury, the master of grand comedic adventures, this cinematic gem is a cross-cultural caper full of action, charm, and zany twists. The Brain brings together an international cast and a plot so delightfully tangled, it's impossible not to be swept along. It stars an eclectic, star-studded cast, including Jean-Paul Belmondo, Bourvil, David Niven, and Eli Wallach, and together they deliver a madcap roller coaster that is part crime saga, part slapstick farce. This isn't just a heist movie, it's a high-wire dance of wits, timing, and sheer absurdity, set against the backdrop of Cold War Europe, with a score that's as playful as its plot. So buckle up as we unpack the hijinks, heart, and high-stakes hilarity of one of the most ambitious European comedies of its time. This is The Brain, a heist film like no other. So sit back as we unpack one of the most wildly entertaining capers of the late 60s. Before we start, support my channel by subscribe, like this video, click on the bell icon for notification for my upcoming movie recap videos. Also, please do share this video with your friends and family. Let's start with the brilliant minds, and not so brilliant ones, who drive this outrageous plot forward. Our tale begins in a Parisian prison, where Arthur, Jean-Paul Belmondo, a charming and cunning thief, orchestrates a clever escape. Feigning a mishap with a bar of soap, he manipulates a guard into a slip that grants him access to solitary confinement, a calculated move. Meanwhile, his loyal accomplice Anatole, Bourvil, digs a tunnel to meet him. Their escape is a comedic ballet of missteps and near misses, culminating in Arthur's bed tumbling out of a moving truck onto the streets of Paris. Arthur is a small-time crook with big-time dreams, always looking for the next daring score. He's impulsive, street-smart, and prone to getting into trouble, but his heart's in the right place, and he has that irresistible roguish appeal. Then there's Anatole, Arthur's bumbling yet lovable partner in crime, portrayed by the always affable Bourvil. Where Arthur is bold and brash, Anatole is cautious and slow to catch on. He's the comic anchor in this wild adventure, constantly lagging behind the plot but somehow never left out. Their breakout is a slapstick spectacle. Picture Arthur's bed launching out the back of a delivery truck in the dead of night. Pillow fluff in the wind as he makes his getaway, grinning like a kid playing hooky. Together, these two set their eyes on the ultimate prize, a train carrying NATO's military payroll. Millions in cold, hard cash. It's the same train that was hit years ago in a legendary robbery. That job? Still unsolved. But rumor has it was the work of a mastermind only known as The Brain. Cut to London, all gray skies and military precision. Here we meet him, Colonel Matthews, played by David Niven, the very brain behind that historic heist. A gentleman thief with a polished accent, razor-sharp mind, and nerves of steel. Matthews is back, and he's ready to rob the train again. Only this time, he's not alone. And neither are our two French bunglers. But the real master planner? That would be Colonel Matthews, played with suave elegance by David Niven. Matthews is the titular brain, a British officer with nerves of steel and intellect to match. He's the kind of villain you can't help but root for, a gentleman thief who orchestrates crimes with the precision of a Swiss watch. But because no good crime movie is complete without wild cards, we get a third party, an Italian mob led by a jealous Don, and his fiery sister Sofia, played by Silvia Monti. Vittorio Manzini, a hot-blooded Sicilian mafia boss, played with comic fury by Eli Wallach. Vittorio is dangerous, dramatic, and constantly on the brink of a breakdown. He's furious that the Sicilian heist was never solved, and he suspects Matthews had something to do with it. To make things even messier, Vittorio's sister Sophia, played by Silvia Monti, has her own agenda. She's smart, seductive, and has zero patience for her brother's ego. Sophia has now caught the attention of Colonel Matthews, the legendary brain himself. With her elegance, charm, and sharp wit, she disarms even the cold precision of his calculating mind. But this unexpected attraction doesn't go unnoticed. Her hot-tempered brother, Vittorio Manzini, played hilariously by Eli Wallach, is outraged. The moment he senses something brewing between his sister and Matthews, his ego explodes, and thus begins an outrageous clash of pride, passion, and paranoia. Eli Wallach's performance throughout the film is a masterclass in comic fury. His over-the-top expressions, booming threats, and relentless obsession with honor turn nearly every scene he's in into a laugh-out-loud spectacle. His character elevates the film's chaotic energy, making it a true comedy of errors with an international twist. As Vittorio spirals into protective brother mode, he orders his mob to tail Sophia wherever she goes. Their mission? Don't let her out of sight. The poor woman can't take a step without a shadow, and that only adds to the farcical nature of the plot. It's less a mafia operation now, and more of a dysfunctional family sitcom on the move. Things take a turn for the absurd when Vittorio, in an effort to follow Sophia, ends up sharing an accidental and very unwelcome taxi ride with none other than Arthur and Anatole. He thinks he's closing in on the truth, but in reality, he's just been thrown into another thread of this tangled web. While Vittorio keeps an eye on his sister, Arthur seizes the moment to trail Colonel Matthews and uncover where the elusive mastermind is hiding the stolen loot. It's a smart, strategic move. Finally, Arthur has a chance to get ahead of the game. That leaves Anatole, sweet, slow-moving Anatole, stuck with the increasingly irritated Vittorio. But in a rare moment of triumph, Anatole outsmarts the feared mob boss. He lures Vittorio into a trap and literally dumps him into a hole, leaving the furious Don covered in dirt, stripped of dignity, and wearing nothing but his tattered poide. For once, Anatole scores big, and it's a glorious, laugh-out-loud moment. This scene perfectly captures the film's genius, blending sharp satire with physical comedy, twisting expectations, and letting even the underdog have their moment in the spotlight. Rounding out this lineup of schemers is Eli Wallach as the excitable and easily offended Sicilian mob boss, Vittorio Manzini. He's the wild card, a man obsessed with honor, reputation, and spaghetti. His presence adds another layer of delicious absurdity to an already packed story. And here's where things start to spiral into delightful chaos. Now comes one of the most thrilling and comedic turning points in the film. Arthur, ever the daring rogue, infiltrates Colonel Matthews' hideout in a bold attempt to uncover the precise time and date of the upcoming NATO money transfer by train. It's a risky move, but Arthur knows that if he can get that intel, he might just pull off the heist of a lifetime. Meanwhile, inside the villa, Colonel Matthews is fully immersed in briefing his crew. With the elegance of a military strategist and the flair of a showman, he lays out his meticulously crafted plan, what he proudly calls the brains plan. Every move is timed, every detail accounted for. It's a masterclass in criminal planning, and his confidence is absolute. But while the colonel is presenting his flawless scheme, chaos brews nearby. Arthur, tiptoeing through the mansion, has a sudden and unexpected run-in, not with guards, but with the colonel's pet cat. Only this isn't your typical feline. This one's wild, fierce, and possibly possessed. What starts as a quiet break-in quickly turns into a full-blown comedic chase, with Arthur being stalked and scratched by the most ferocious furball in France. Dodging claws, leaping over furniture, and narrowly avoiding disaster, Arthur manages to escape the madness, but not without a prize. Amid the chaos, he gets his hands on a crucial map, one that reveals the logistics of Colonel Matthews' entire operation. With this map, Arthur finally has the upper hand. It's the key to his ultimate plan, to hijack the heist itself. This entire sequence is a perfect mix of tension and slapstick. That gutsy improvisation contrasts Matthews' order with unexpected chaos and delivers one of the film's funniest yet most pivotal moments. Arthur may be outmatched by the brain on paper, but in the unpredictable world of this story, instinct, luck, and a little feline fury just might tip the scales. Arthur and Anatole's version of the plan is, let's just say, charmingly low-tech, armed with nothing more than railway worker disguises, a modest stash of tools, and a surplus of reckless confidence. They attempt to infiltrate the train carrying NATO's massive cash shipment. Their strategy is bold, improvised, and full of holes, but they charge in with the determination of underdogs who have nothing to lose. Meanwhile, Colonel Matthews is executing a far more elegant operation. His team moves like a covert unit, precise, calculated, and completely composed. The brilliance of his plan? Matthews intends to kidnap himself in front of witnesses to avoid suspicion, using a perfectly timed smoke bomb to disorient the onboard crew while his accomplices make off with the money. It's classic Brain, a genius disappearing act with military precision. As both heist plans unfold side by side, the film serves up a masterclass in contrast. Amateur ambition crashing headfirst into professional cunning. What results is pure cinematic mayhem, hilarious, chaotic, and thrilling. Arthur and Anatole actually managed to pull off their part of the plan. Kind of. They board the train, create a diversion, and make a daring grab for the cash. But before they can celebrate, they realize they've been outplayed. The money is gone. Vanished. Their triumph is cut short as they begin to sense the invisible hand of a more skilled thief working behind the scenes. From that moment on, the film launches into a whirlwind of double crosses, switched suitcases, hidden maps, and mistaken identities. The chase spills across Paris, with Arthur and Anatole scrambling to reclaim the loot while being trailed by Matthews' operatives, and occasionally the police. It's a dizzying, delightful mess of misdirection and slapstick brilliance. And just when things couldn't get any crazier, Vittorio Manzini re-enters the fray with a scheme of his own. Furious about his sister Sophia's growing connection with Matthews and eager to prove he's still the true boss, Vittorio devises a revenge plan. He kidnaps Sophia, snatches the cash, and quite literally packages Matthews in a shipping case bound for parts unknown. It's personal now, and Vittorio's out to humiliate everyone. But this war of egos is far from over. Matthews, ever the escape artist, manages to free himself with a little help from Sophia, who's now fully on his side. Together, they flip the script, trapping Vittorio in the very same case meant for the Colonel. It's poetic justice with a comic twist. As the final act unfolds, alliances shift once more. Arthur and Anatole, determined to grab the loot from whoever has it now, temporarily join forces with Matthews and Sophia. What follows is a wild, high-energy pursuit of a statue, the very statue that's been used to conceal the money all along. They chase trucks, dodge furious gangsters, and sneak aboard the SS France, a majestic ocean liner setting sail for New York. It's a climax packed with disguises, confusion, and impeccable comic timing, all playing out across the decks and corridors of the ship. Finally, the statue is cracked open on the docks, and in a glorious cinematic moment, the stolen cash erupts in a storm of flying bills, raining down over dock workers, tourists, and onlookers in a sparkling, chaotic finale. It's greed, irony, and slapstick rolled into one unforgettable ending. In the end, the Brain delivers more than laughs. It delivers a kind of cinematic symphony where chaos becomes choreography and every misplaced suitcase is part of the dance. It's a film where crooks have heart, criminals have code, and even the smartest minds can be undone by a simple twist of fate or a well-timed banana peel. It's also a rare example of a truly international film from its era, uniting stars from France, Britain, and the US in a story that feels universal. Themes of ambition, trust, and the eternal clash between brains and brawn resonate even today. Sure, the Brain doesn't take itself too seriously, but maybe that's its genius. Beneath the laughs and lunacy, it reminds us that sometimes the smartest play is just letting the madness unfold. So there you have it. The Brain. A heist film that doesn't just steal the money, it steals your heart, your breath, and a good half hour of side-splitting joy. If you haven't seen it yet, do yourself a favor and track it down. It's a comic treasure, a visual caper, and a reminder that the best plans usually go hilariously wrong. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling us your favorite scene or your favorite cinematic heist. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your plans flexible, because even the best thieves need a little luck and a lot of laughs.